Ride the Tide Sports Podcast is brought to you by Vegas Sports Advantage.
Welcome to VegasSportsAdvantage.com, the website where you can win with us. It doesn't matter if your favorite team is playing.
It doesn't matter what you think.
What matters is which team has the best odds to win. Our MIT team has had a winning record every year for the past 15 years. This gives us the confidence to guarantee all of our packages. We have the highest verified record. Don't miss out. Get in the game. It doesn't matter which sport it is.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Win with Vegas Sports Advantage. Go to VegasSportsAdvantage.com to start winning today.
Hey, how we doing, Luke? I know you love that intro. I see you every time.
I'm loving that intro. The intro
With
is
the 1, 2, 3 combo there.
Oh, that was a bigger combo than that. 10 unanswered punches.
Freaking punches, my guy. Welcome to Ride the Tide Sports Podcast midweek recap. We will be joined by Dylan shortly. He is working a long night on the barn, so we'll see him when we see him. But it's been dark out for a while, so he should be back soon, assuming he can't be there that late. How late can you really golf?
Can't golf that late.
Come on.
How are you going to see the ball when
And
it
you
gets dark
can't.
outside?
Start closing earlier around this.
If you start bringing some glow-in-the-dark golf balls, we should go there and just mess with them one day. Stay out super late.
Why not, honestly?
Get lost on the course. Call him like, Dylan, I don't know where I am.
Might have to bring a little tent and backpack just in case we get lost.
Oh, right, for sure.
Camp out.
Just get lost in the sun.
Yeah, we got to be prepared to be lost.
You'll be like, why are you bringing a survival kit onto the golf course with you and your golf clubs? We're like, what if I don't make it back?
Hey, you'll never have to get ready if you stay prepared.
You have to get ready if you stay ready. But we got some NFL football to recap. A quick recap on Michigan and Michigan State. Both teams won again and continue their undefeated ways. And I think that's great because another team has consistently stayed defeated, and that is the Detroit Lions. So good for you, Luke, because you got that bet for it. So
Let's go!
it's still
0-17!
going strong. Still going strong. And the
0
Bengals,
wins.
who were supposed to be a win for us, I think, are looking like they're actually really good now. So
Yeah.
they're probably going to lose that game.
We're losing that game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the ones that I thought might be wins are not looking like
Especially after that.
How about Justin Fields?
How about it?
How about that?
He did.
man?
He did pretty good. He didn't kill us, but he did pretty good,
Yeah.
and he definitely improved from last week. But before we talk football, because there's more football than anything to talk about, we got a little bit of preseason hockey here. I've been peeping the Wings hockey preseason so far, and I'm kind of really liking it. What I'm seeing, the Eyes are playing continues to keep working because
Yes.
the young gel right now is looking so good, and Raymond in particular, that man's a dog.
No, dude.
I don't know
like,
if you saw the pull-up against Fleury when they were
I
playing
didn't-
Chicago the other night.
I didn't see that, but
Oh,
I mean, I know the young guys
Raymond's
are looking-
dirty.
the young guys are looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking like a lot less than 10 years that I predicted a couple years ago.
Yeah. That's before like a lot of things.
That's pre Stevie Y.
fell into place.
That was
That's before the eyes are playing. Yeah, before we had a bunch of good stuff going on. But in that game, this is something I want to talk about. In that Columbus game, I think it was Saturday. Detroit had 4 power play goals in a 5-1 win. Our power play is normally atrocious, but I watched the highlights of this game, and our power play looks beautiful. It looks beautiful.
I mean, yes,
Our defense is still iffy, but our power play looks beautiful, and we're actually shooting the puck and getting the tips and whatnot, and it looks great.
I didn't watch any. Not so far.
Thanks, Pooch. Wings looking promising going into the season. Going to be another year or two before they're back in the playoff picture.
I'd say 3.
Yeah, I'd say 2 or 3. I definitely
I'd
don't
say
think it'd
3.
be this year or next year, but hopefully some more wins. 4 yesterday as well. Mo and Raymond, goal assist apiece. Yeah, the young guys are looking real good. It's real promising to start the year. I'm definitely satisfied with that.
I'm liking where the Wings are trending.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Moving on now. The MLB AL wildcard game is tonight. Boston and New York. Classic rivalry game here. I'm pretty sure the Red Sox are not favored. The Yankees are favored, and the Red Sox are actually the home team. Kind of wild. But J.D. Martinez is not playing for Boston. He's ruled out due to injury. So, what are your predictions in this game? Oh, perfect time. Predictions, MLB AL wild card. Let's just start it off with the man himself, the baseball man.
Oh, wow. What did I just walk into? Okay. Hello. Hi, everyone. First off, I haven't said what up to anyone. AL wildcard. Fuck it. Give me the Yankees losing again, as they normally do in the playoffs, with the Red Sox without J.D. Martinez pulling up the upset. I think that the reason why I have the Yankees losing, it's not more the Red Sox winning, it is the Yankees losing, is because the Yankees have a great team, and the Yankees have a great roster, and they have the only error that they normally have is their pitching staff, and I think their pitching staff is going to continue to be because they have Garrett Cole, and besides that, that's about it. My only thing that I have to say is that the Red Sox still have Kyle Schwarber, the Red Sox still have Xander Bogaerts, and the Red Sox still have big bats, even though that JD isn't there. And I think Nathan Eovaldi is going to have a very unexpected game. I got the Red Sox.
I'm with you.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm also on the Red Sox here. I just don't. I don't think the Yankees do it at home. That playoff atmosphere, the vibe.
I'm kind of with Dylan because, I'm more on the side of the Yankees finding a way to fuck it up.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, because they consistently do.
Because they didn't, from what I've seen on the second half of the season after the trade deadline, they didn't do as good as I think they should have.
No.
Yeah, they're not too good.
Speaking of, I don't think we ever brought it up, but a team that had an absolute, devastating post-All-Star break season, the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, I brought that up.
I don't think we talked about that enough. They have such a good team on paper. That was like a Toronto Maple Leafs playoff type collapse, but for a whole half of a season
and
in the MLB.
What?
That's ridiculous.
How do you know when your franchise is poverty? When you stack your roster and you still fucking suck.
That does make it really
mean,
tough on yourself.
I'll be honest,
That's a mental game there. I'd be down on my luck all the time.
I think, honestly, you nailed it right on the head with the Toronto Maple Leafs because you look at them on paper and you're like, oh, easy. Now,
Cup.
one thing I want to address. Yes, the Dodgers are in a wild card spot with 101 games, but they could have easily have taken the other one and they could be versing the Dodgers instead of the Cardinals. Now, you do have to factor in the fact that no one was expecting the Cardinals to win 17 games in a row. Not
True.
a damn person.
How
was ready
are
for
they
that.
going to go on a big losing streak?
But no,
come
they're
playoff
not.
time?
You have it completely wrong, Luke. It is 2019 Washington National vibes 110%. They are on a streak. And they're going to, surprisingly, beat the 101-win Dodgers in the wild card. And no one's going to be ready for it because Max Scherzer is going to let up no runs, go crazy, and then the bullpen's going to fuck.
Time out. Hot take time.
I'll be honest. I have two underdogs winning the wild card because one thing I've learned about baseball is that it has become very predictable. But for some reason this year, everything has gone unpredictable. Everything that was supposed to happen isn't happening. You have a 101 Dodgers team that is in the wild card because the Giants won the division somehow. And then you have teams like the Braves who are in no wild card playoff spot who have won 85 games. A lot of unexpected shit and unpredictable shit has happened this year in my eyes. So for me, I'm looking at it as any team that would normally win, they're not going to. So that's kind of how I'm factoring in my decisions. Could you look at it and be like, your logic makes no sense and that's completely stupid? Of course you could. But you could for a lot of the things that I say. So at the end of the day, if you look at it in one way of it's supposed to go one way and this year everything's being fucked up, just make your prediction fucked up and you have a better chance of it being right. That's what I'm going with.
Listen, this is when the reality check starts kicking in because it's been a fairy tale all season long with MLB. This is the real life reality check. Dodgers are going to smoke them. They're not going to win a single game.
If all this happens for the Dodgers to repeat, I will be pissed. I'll say it right here.
Luke, I'm going to take the time right now to say that I am 99.99% positive the wild card is one game.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to smoke them that one game. They're not going to get a run.
Luke definitely thinks there's a series right now.
I don't know the playoffs for everything.
They're going to smack it. It's just the wild card's one game, and then that gets them.
I just took a roll of the dice and was like, okay, multiple games, just smoke them. They're not going to win.
3-5 or 1-3-5?
It's a 1, and then 5 and 7.
Winner of the game that's currently going on being Boston and New York plays Tampa Bay.
In a 5-game series?
Regardless who
First
wins that, they're
ALDS is 5-game series, and then everything else is 7.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Regardless who wins that series, they're going to get smoked next round.
Yeah, we know you. Smoking that Tampa pack all day, 24/7.
Talking about a team that's not in the playoffs. If you look up their record right now, it says that they are 0-0, or 0-0, whatever you want to call it. They don't have a record, and it makes me feel great because you don't have to look at a losing record. The Detroit Tigers and Al Avila in a press conference today says that the Tigers will make a splash in the offseason. But here's what I want to mention. This is why I bring it up, because everyone expects the Tigers to make a splash this offseason because this is where we have the best opportunity to go get that player that we need to plug in.
Carlos Correa.
Really build this roster. However, in Al Avila's statement, he did also say, when he said we will make a splash, he did not say that it would be with a player like a big signing, because he did say, well, if you sign a big player, that a lot of times that works against you when you sign a big contract and all that, yada, yada. So what he said is, we want to make our splash in wins and losses. Mostly like, no losses. And I'm like, okay, so you're not gonna go sign Carlos Correa. You're not gonna go sign a big shortstop, because the Tigers' offseason plan is 110%. Riley Green will come up to the MLB be next year, and he will play for the Tigers. Torkelson definitely will come up to the MLB, and he will play first base for the Tigers next year. So you're adding another outfielder, and you're adding a first baseman. You need a shortstop. You need a catcher.
No, you don't.
You need a catcher. They're going to get a catcher.
Yeah, but you don't need a catcher.
They are going to get another catcher. You need more than one catcher, bud.
I know, but our
This
best hitter
is-
last year was Eric.
This is 162 games of baseball, and you need to win most of them.
One catcher cannot play 260 games.
I know. I'm just
160.
Saying that, like, that is our biggest problem.
That's a lot of games, Luke.
162.
But we don't
I
need
know.
a catcher.
That's up there.
We'll run it back later. It was a messed up number that you gave us.
I'm pretty sure I said it right. I might have just got fucked up through the audio, but I swore I said that right.
Also, maybe a closing pitcher. Just saying, I haven't seen one of those in a while.
They went ahead and said in the press conference also today that Greg will be the closing pitcher next year. Going forward, he is the closing pitcher.
God,
They said that.
that Greg. That's your guy, Ty.
Yay. I'll be honest. Greg's an all-star, right? So I should be happy. I'm not.
Yeah, Greg.
Because
He's a go.
Greg throws hard. But the problem is with Greg is he's been so inconsistent. Like, so last year, not the year that just played out, the year before, he was ass. But there was a lot of excuses because it was his first year of development, blah, blah, blah. Okay, give him a break. Comes in, has the worst April of almost any other pitcher besides Joe Jimenez that I've seen come out of the bullpen. Absolute shit. Then, for the next 2 to 3 months, becomes one of the best AL closers in the league for no reason at all, makes an all-star game, and then finishes the year with Cisnero pretty much being the closer and not doing shit. So my problem is there's not a whole lot of consistency there at all, whereas someone like Cisnero or even Fulmer, I only saw Fulmer blow one game all year. You know,
He just wanted to make the All-Star game.
And Greg let up a dinger in the All-Star game. Exactly.
We just had to have a player in there.
He just wanted to go have fun for a weekend.
We're like, if we throw a Tigers closing pitcher in there, we can just throw him in for one inning, and then that way, they'll make sure that there's runs in the game, and that way, if everyone else is doing too good, they'll be for sure like, oh, okay, well, Tigers pitcher's coming in, get your runs here.
Past 3 years.
All right.
Past 3 years, they have just gone to Detroit and went, oh, they kind of suck. Greg Soto, Joe Jimenez, just like fucking anybody from the bullpen that, has having a year with an ERA under 2.5, we're going to send him to the All-Star game.
Solid.
Thanks. Cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
At least we get one.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
At least they're like, hey, we'll still give you one. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks. Before we get into NFL here, we're going to go into a little bit of the Ufc Vegas that happened on Saturday. So,
yeah.
my guy.
Well, you see, it was quite an exquisite night, going from the prelims, it was going out. There was basically all finishes. There was really, I think there maybe was one decision. But then we got to the main card. That's usually supposed to be the juicier fight, the big shebang. No. There was one finish. There was a first round no contest because two guys butted heads and one got TKO'd off it. And then the Santos and Walker fight, the one we all were hyping up, was the most boring fight in the world. They both should have lost. They both should have received L's on that one, on their record for that fight. It was embarrassing.
That was a double.
Especially off a first round draw, basically, no contest. You're gonna put that out for a show? Like, wow, way to keep the viewership. Nice entertainment, bud.
So what we're trying to say is, if you were in a situation where you had like a dinner or a family function that you were only able to see the prelims and you're like, oh, fuck, I missed the main card. You are actually the best situation to be in because
you're the lucky one.
You're the luckiest. Yeah, I was about to say, you're the luckiest person here. So if you were in that spot where you missed the main card and only saw the prelims, congratulations, bro. You didn't realize it at the time, but you played your cards phenomenal.
But okay, here's a funny thing about all this. Kevin Holland, he was the one who got TKO'd off like the head clash, and after that, a couple days go by. He ends up chasing down a car thief in his neighborhood, catching him. Oh my! And he's been struggling in previous fights. He's been struggling with his ground game, and he's been working on it. And then he has to boost his ground game because he took the thief down with. I hit him with a little sweep, got on top, knee on belly, and hit him with a little Khabib scarf hold.
This man, he just tracked him down.
He chased. Yes, bro. He
Jeez.
ran his ass down.
Gonna have
Holland,
to.
there's a car thief. I got him.
Then he proceeded
Not
to
for
wait till
long.
the cops came.
Smart. I'm glad I didn't kill him. He had the ability.
Yeah. So what a week for that guy. I mean, both those guys too, Holland and Dawkins, both agreed to terms to run that shit back, like immediately.
Sure.
I think I have the date. No, I don't have the date.
I'll be damned if I get knocked out in a head-to-head collision.
Yeah, I mean, he got. I mean, he was pretty dazed off.
And if I am knocked
His
out,
face ate the
you
other
better be
guy's
knocked out
face,
too.
and oh man, the guy just went on top. Was like boop boop. Then it was the fight, but then it was ruled a draw because head clash.
Headbutt.
You really can't do nothing about that. The
No,
head does some serious damage on both ends.
sure.
That's why I always think those people who can just headbutt other people and just things are insane.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, are you not messing your own shit up?
Like, how does that not hurt?
I don't get it. But let's get into the Sunday NFL or NFL Sunday recap now. I mean, where do we even begin? The
My bet's
Lions
still going.
remain winless,
All they could
but
do.
the Jets get their first win, and the Rams fall to Arizona, so the Rams are not going undefeated. So
I'm not going to make it through this fucking podcast. I'm already pissed. I'm not going to make it through.
here comes game one of Dylan's hate list. The Jets
with him.
picked up their first win against Tennessee, and we haven't really heard from Jesse, so we're gonna go to Jesse on this game here.
All right, so just to give you guys a little heads up, I was at work. I wasn't watching the game. Checked my phone and I saw it 17-24, and I was like, "Oh, Titans getting things done. That makes sense. You know, that's them." Then I had to look again, and I was like, "That's Jets 24, 17." Like, oh shit.
I was watching it, and then I was like, "Oh my god, they're actually going to win if they hold this defensive stand." But then they just marched it down the field,
Yeah.
tied it back up, and I'm like, "Okay, they're actually going to win this one, like easy." Just when the coin flipped, then they marched down the field. And I'm like, "Oh fuck!"
It took forever to.
Craziest part about that, New York Jets, not only the New York team, or not only the only one that was in overtime that day to get their first win, because the Giants also did with the Saquon Barkley walk-off TD.
New York, baby.
Woo!
Doing
Barkley's
it in
for the win.
fashion together as a cohesive, shitty unit. They pulled it off. God.
I couldn't spit that out. Woo!
I think you spit it all out. You ran out of breath.
spit too much out.
Solid against.
So, back to this real quick. Floor's yours.
All right. So, I said before the game that we don't have A.J. Brown and we don't have Julio Jones, so Derrick Henry's going to have to go crazy. Derrick Henry did have 150 rushing yards and a touchdown. He did his job. But, as you can realize, there was a problem. How the fuck do the New York Jets get 6 sacks against you? Do you know how bad your O-line has to be? Lawan, how many Pro Bowls have you been to? It doesn't fucking matter. The only thing that is a problem here is the secondary. Now you have no O-line. Your O-line is worse than Cincinnati, bro. It is a fucking joke. The New York Jets, 6 times. And on top of it, first quarter of the game, you made Zach Wilson look like Zach Wilson. Then what happened the whole second half? You made Zach Wilson look like Russell Wilson. What the fuck? He was throwing dimes. He was pointing down the field. He was just lacing it. Daggers, dots, everywhere. Corey Davis against this forward team. Shit it on him. Do we have a tight end we can throw it to? No, because Jonnu Smith scoring touchdowns for the fucking Patriots. And who is our number one wide receiver? Nicholson. Who the fuck is Nicholson? Nobody knows who Nicholson is because he gets put in our wide receiver 1, 8 receptions, 60-some yards. Who gives a fuck? Tannehill. Every time you go to throw to somebody besides him, what do? You end up with your face in the goddamn dirt because you have 0.8 seconds before you get sacked, looking like Justin Fields against Myles Garrett. And we lose to the New York Jets. Oh my God, I knew we lost when we went for the field goal to tie the fucking game. If you tie the Jets, I don't care what it says statistically, you lost. Morally and statistically, in my head and everywhere, you lost. If you tied
you watched the game, right, Dylan?
So a field goal wouldn't have done any better. I watched the entire game.
Bro, why when they're that close to the end zone, when they could have just taken that touchdown, why didn't they march down with Derrick Henry more? They threw it the last 2 plays to force the field goal.
They thought that the O-line was going to sell for Derrick Henry. But what they didn't realize is the only time the O-line didn't sell is when Derrick Henry had the ball because he still had 150 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Bro, he wasn't even on the field, I don't think, for the last couple plays to force the field
because
goal.
They had that 28 fucking side running back in. I think he might even be Nicholson.
Bro, that's some Seattle shit right there.
I think that might be Nicholson. Is the goddamn running back, not even a wide receiver. Holy fucking shit. We lost to the Jets. You guys don't understand how hard this is for me. I root for the Titans so that the Lions' pain is numbed out by rooting for a successful football team. And to the Jets. The Lions' fuckery that happened because we'll talk about that in a minute. I watched the Titans lose to the Jets. And then I have Tyler smacking me on fantasy with Myles Gaskin with 0.3 fantasy points. This week was hard, man. It was a tough fucking week.
Yeah, bro. What was up with Gaskin, bro? He's just non-existent anymore.
We get into Malcolm Brown, who averages 2 yards a fucking carry. Guess what he finished with on the stat sheet? Negative. He was in the negatives.
Bro, I don't think Gaskin was doing anything wrong either. Like, why'd they just forget about that, man?
Gaskin had like 0.3, I think.
He did. He had 0.3.
Yeah.
But how did he just lose his job by like not really like doing bad?
He did nothing wrong. I'll be honest. The Titans defense, I'll be honest, the Titans in general, and I'll make this statement. Do any of you know who they play next week off the top of your head?
No.
Okay. Whoever the Titans play next week, if they don't win that game by 20 points, I'm going to be absolutely devastated knowing what's coming the rest of the year.
Would you like
they
to
play
know
Jacksonville?
Okay. Look, I swear to God, if we don't win by 20 points.
Low-key, I am feeling a little bit your pain with the Titans, especially with their defense, because I completely picked up their defense to stream because they were playing the Jets, and they didn't do anything.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
They still put up more than the Patriots defense because they flat it out with 0 evenly.
Damn.
But I didn't trust them against Brady.
I don't blame you because that's a great segue because Brady prevailed in New England. We did say we were all pretty confident on Bucs by 1,000,000, but Brady slid out of this one just barely.
Oh yeah.
There were a lot of overthrows from Brady in this game. A lot of missed passes. I think the nerves kind of were getting to Brady in this game. I don't think he was as ready for this mentally as he might have thought he was.
That too, and we were all high on the story of not Stafford, but Brady going back there and absolutely torching Belichick. But you also kind of got to realize, if there's anyone who knows Brady the most, it's Belichick. So like he kind of knows how to cause problems for Brady, probably out of any coach in the league.
What happened, Dylan?
2-run homers, Andrew Bogarts. Red Sox are up 2-0 in the first.
Huge.
Woo! disappointed in you, Jesse. You didn't join the double arm
My arms wouldn't.
arm fling.
Like everyone's arms could be seen, and I'd have to like.
You're
That was perfect.
see that would have been great.
All right.
Now Dylan's missing out.
I like how it looks
I will
as a
say one
4-square
thing.
unit. I'm not gonna lie. Something about it. Something
I'll say
about
one
it looks
thing.
right. It felt right.
And I know that you guys will probably agree, so I just want to know if you do. I selfishly wanted Nick Folk to make that kick just so that Brady had 1 minute to go down there against his former team and do some last-minute drive type shit to win the game. Selfish.
Yeah, that would have been nuts.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
And then
But
lose.
No,
If Brady loses that game, the story of this week's podcast would have been the new Brady, Mac
Jack
Jones.
Jones. And it still is. I mean, it still is a big
Hey,
story
he
because
played a hell of a
he
game.
balled out. Mac Jones balled out.
Hey,
and
he knew he had to step up because
Exactly.
Brady was coming.
He knew that.
Yeah.
This was his
Well, when
first-
you're getting ready to play, a home game in front of your fans in your rookie year, it's only your second or third home game, and before the game starts, it's Brady, 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 Brady,
And you
and
gotta
every
go
single
against the
jersey
Old
in the
Town
stadium
goat.
is the quarterback that played at this field for 16 seasons. Good luck.
Bro, he knew his assignment and he executed to the best of his abilities.
Oh yeah,
All right, guys.
the assignment's always the same though.
I'm gonna
Do
show
what
up.
Bill says.
You guys don't have another Tom Brady. Not gonna be another Tom Brady for a while, but like
Yeah,
You'll
because
see the
Brady's from
importance.
Michigan.
Jones, you'll see who Mac Jones is. You're gonna find out this game right here that I could be the guy for you guys. We just gotta get a couple better receivers. For some late game plays. Because yes, Myers is nice, but I'm playing through my tight ends half of the game. I can't really extend too much, but I'm here. I may not be Brady, but I'm here, and I got you. That's what I think that game was.
Nice.
I agree. I think that's
It definitely is what that game
I think
was.
that's a good touch up. But I do want to talk about a game that Luke addressed previously, but I think it does need to be talked about because not a lot of people saw this upset coming. So we go to New Orleans and we have the Saints and the Giants. We have so I think the Saints don't know if they're good or not yet. They honestly don't know.
No.
So all I'm
No,
gonna
I don't
say
think
right
we
now-
know.
All I'm gonna say is
No one knows.
They know what they are.
the
They're a bunch of
Giants-
misfit toys.
The Giants and Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes has been the best quarterback to ever start 0-3, in my opinion. He was balling out and he would win the
Facts.
game. So I think
He might have
balled
just
out,
been. I think he was the hottest quarterback to start 0-3.
right. That's what I'm saying. And then
Zach Wilson, on the other hand, deserved to start 0-3. He played like garbage.
That's what. Yeah. And then the biggest factor that I want to take away is what Luke said. This is the first game in maybe a year and a half that we've seen Saquon play like Saquon and
Yeah, bro.
put up the numbers that we're used to seeing him put up. Jesse, I know you have something to say, so I'll let you say your piece.
There is no reason at all, zero fucking reason that a New Orleans Saints game ends with Alvin Kamara not having a catch. There's no reason the game should go that way in any way, shape, or form that he is not out there catching at least 5 passes a game. That is why they lost.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything in the open field. And
They lost because Barkley turned up. Ah!
he had 115 yards on 25, but he didn't get any receptions.
Strange.
Like zero. You couldn't.
Wilson's just
Yeah,
bombing
it's
it down the
odd,
field
but
for
I mean,
interceptions.
If you look at Barkley's build, that's what he should be doing. If I look at Saquon Barkley and I look at people like Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara, and I'm like, there's different body types that have running backs that I think should and should not be catching the ball. And I would put the non-catching ball running backs category as Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Najee Harris.
Swift.
Those are guys that just pound it.
Can't
Swift can't catch. I understand that that's what he's here to do, and that's why he's actually taking playing time away from our better running back, Jamal Williams, because he's more experienced and he's He's averaging like 4.5 yards a carry in the first
Williams
half against the Bears, and we take him out because we're losing by 14 points, so we're throwing the ball, and we're convinced that Swift is the future in the passing back game, so that we keep throwing DeAndre Swift the ball, so Jamal Williams is out. But the guy's averaging 4.5 yards a carry.
Now,
You give him the ball twice, you have a 3rd and 2.
I've never seen them throw it to Jamal Williams, but I'm going to go on a limb and say that he's not a worse pass catcher than Swift.
He can't be.
There's no way.
Because Swift is like
Swift has hands like Brandon
consistent-ish.
Pettigrew.
And the ish is always like the plays that are for touchdowns. He'll drop those, but he'll make like, he'll catch a screenplay or a
Hands
short
like
out
Pettigrew.
route for like 3 yards.
Pettigrew could
But if it
make
matters, he'll drop it.
unbelievable, like, stupid-ass catch, but it would go for 3 yards. But then anything past that, he'd drop.
I remember when Pettigrew was wide open and he tried to catch a ball off of his knees, and that was the end of it for me. I will always remember that play. I was like, you're dead to me. You need to go. And he was off the team after that season, but I was like,
He's a different
the
track.
ball hit you in the legs. Like, you swung and missed, and it hit you in the leg. Like, what are you doing? But
Yeah, but
another team that's had some 0-4 struggles, and is also having some bigger struggles off the field. There's been a lot of problems brewing in Jacksonville. Now, I don't really know where to begin, so I'm just going to begin by saying Urban Meyer is fluffed. This man is fluffed because there's a video going around of Urban Meyer at the bar, okay, and this man Urban is getting danced on by a younger lady that is definitely not his wife, and he's at a bar that he owns in Columbus because they had a Thursday night game and he flew down there, or drove down there to see the grandkids or whatever, and went to his bar the next day or whatever. And this girl's dancing on him, at the bar. He's just sitting on a bar stool, but a video gets taken and it gets out, and immediately there's people asking questions. And you'd think this would be mostly a family issue, like, something him and his wife have to deal with, and then his kids have to deal with. But it's actually becoming more than that. It's becoming much more than that because according to his contract with Jacksonville, he's allegedly breaking some of the moral standards they have set in that contract. And all of a sudden, that USC job is looking a little bit more tasty to a guy that, might never coach again after this. But a lot's going down, and I just want to know what you guys think about this whole situation because he's in it right now.
I think it's crazy that he's so embarrassed. He canceled the team Monday meeting.
Yeah. Can we just
and couldn't show his face to
Can we go
the
over
team.
that real quick? Let me read this. Jesse, I don't know if you saw this. Did you see the thread on Twitter about this?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you that haven't seen it, the Urban Meyer situation in Jacksonville has reached a crisis point, especially in the locker room. One player told me, quote, he has zero credibility in that stadium, and he had very little to begin with. This is from Michael Silver on Twitter. It's a thread. It says players were particularly put off by the fact that Meyer canceled Monday's team meeting as he dealt with the uproar over the videos of him and a younger woman getting cozy in that Ohio bar. He even canceled the team meeting. He was too scared, a player said. Instead, Myers only apologized to position groups individually. He portrayed the woman in the videos as a random person who was, quote, just there dancing. Suffice it to say, his audience was highly skeptical. One player said, we looked at him like, WTF? Right when he left, everyone started dying laughing, and he knew it. So Urban Meyer has officially lost the locker room in Jacksonville. And the owners, I guess, came out and made a statement that said that, he's going to have to gain our trust and support back and respect back. So until then, it's just rough. So Dylan, I'll cut to you. What do you take of this whole situation here?
Obvious what happened, right?
What happened?
I think it's pretty obvious that this man sabotaged his job to get the USC job, and now he's trying to play it off like he didn't. I mean, I'm not one to make assumptions, but the USC job opens up Everyone's speculating Urban Meyer wants to leave. Urban Meyer says, I want to stay. Urban Meyer goes 0-4. Urban Meyer's in cheating allegations. This shit just doesn't, happen.
Okay, but he's not gonna get, in like marriage trouble just to get out of Jacksonville. He's not gonna do that.
Thing. Here's what's gonna happen. One or two things are gonna happen. One, he's either going to get fired from Jacksonville, and then he's not going to get a USC coaching job because why the fuck would they give him a USC coaching job after what he just did? Obviously. Duh. It's fucking pretty obvious. And then two, the other one that would happen would be he would stay in Jacksonville, like at the end of this year, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars become mediocre, and then at the end.
Last time Jacksonville did something, they had 3 players. They have like 5 now, and they still can't do anything. Don't get me wrong, they don't have a Jalen Ramsey.
And their second first round draft pick got injured for the whole season.
Let's think about this. How did Jacksonville have the game they had against Arizona? Arizona have the game they had against LA, and Jacksonville can't do anything like any other week. Like, I feel like they played such a good game that week. I don't know what happened in the locker room, what was the game plan that is different from every other game, because they're trash, and I don't think they'll be good for years. And I think Urban Meyer will lose his job whether they're good or not, because you need your players to want to play for you.
So how long do you think Urban Meyer lasts? Do you think he makes it to next week? Do you think he makes it to the next year? Do you think, how long do you think he can stay in Jacksonville, or will he stay in Jacksonville?
I give him, unless this season turns around, which I don't see that happening, he might just be gone by 0-6, but like maybe 2 years. I give him 2 years max. They might give him like we'll give you 1 more year after this year. And then it's like, you need a winning season to stay. Like, we're not just going to let you stay on like a 8-9. Like, you got to go 9-9, 10-9. I mean, yeah, 9-9. No, 9, 8.
Sheesh.
7. I broke my head. I'm sorry. But yeah,
everyone's head.
If he can't do either one of those in the next 2 years, he's gone. I wouldn't keep it.
I want to get into let's rip this Band-Aid off because I'm cool with it. Jesse's cool with it. Luke's probably cool with it. But I know that there is one man in particular who is not cool with it. And that is that Arizona Cardinals, LA Rams. Think you guys know where I'm with this. Cardinals, little 5 foot than Kyler Murray, who was supposed to get eaten by Aaron Donald. Oh, we forgot about one problem. Am I frozen?
No, you're good.
You were a little bit.
You're good.
Oh, okay. But anyways, I was gonna say the problem is that in order to eat Kyler Murray, you got to get him. His little ass is so quick that you cannot get to him. And on top of it,
did you say eat?
Yeah, you want to eat Kyler Murray, you can't eat him, if you're Aaron Donald because you can't get to him.
Okay, I thought it was an accident, but then I realized it might be on purpose, and either way, it was funny.
So, and then on top of it, Tyler, I just want to reach out my question. I was ready for 3 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown from Stafford, and you let me down.
I don't know if you watched the game, but I did, and Matthew Stafford rushed it to the goal line, and then the next play ran another run and still didn't get in. So he tried, and I fucking called. Technically, I called that they would try. Because if he gets the block, he's in, and I called it. And then, 2 of those, or, one of those picks turns into a touchdown, and all of a sudden, Tyler's looking more right. So if the game plan had went the way it was supposed to, I think you would have seen exactly what I portrayed.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this.
However,
what do you think was the problem with the Rams this week? Then why do you think they lost?
What's the Rams?
It was Arizona's defense. It was not anything to do with the Rams.
Arizona defense played crazy.
Arizona's defense and Kyler frickin' Murray.
Yeah, that's a big reason right there.
Kyler frickin' Murray, who took over the one spot currently on all sports books for the MVP race this year. He's currently number 1. So place your bets, but if you're gonna do so,
Beep, beep, boop,
Yeah,
bop.
the last-
I still put it on Stafford.
the last under. Can they do it?
Another game I want to mention. Here. The Bills and the Texans. The Bills rolled the Texans 40-rip.
Good. This was good.
What did we
40
call?
rip.
What did we call an absolute steamroll
A reality.
last podcast? What happened? An absolute steam roll. The Dolphins couldn't breathe. They beat them so bad. Myles Gaskin was just is now non-existent in the world of football.
Texans, Bills, Texans.
Oh wait, Miami. I'm talking about Miami. Oopsies.
You're not talking about
Yes, I am, Dylan. Now you're more wrong than me.
You're not talking about Miami. You're talking about Houston.
Now you're the
We're
wrong
talking
one.
about Houston.
Yeah, we're not talking about Miami. You're talking about Houston.
Luke's talking about Miami.
Listen,
Yeah, no, Luke is.
I don't
talking
know
about
why
Miami. We were supposed
Miami
to be talking about
Miami
Houston.
somehow slipped its way into my brain for I thought it was Bills were just smoking Miami for a second.
Yeah, it ain't
And then
that bad in Miami. It's that bad in Houston though.
Oh
Davis
yeah.
Mills, just let me read off this stat line real quick. Davis Mills, rookie quarterback, going into halftime, he had 0 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions, and his stat line was 1 for 7 with 7 total offensive yards. Come on now.
Hold up, I gotta find this guy
You ain't getting nothing done. And I'll tell you right now,
because I'm telling you,
Josh Allen doesn't even look, and I know this sounds like, but I want to know if you agree with me. It didn't look like he was really trying. Like, I know that's
Did
crazy
he have
to say,
to try?
but like
No.
exactly, he was
Did he
hitting
really?
passes
With
here
the
and there,
caliber
like
of play
special.
he's capable of reaching, did he
Listen.
really have to reach that caliber in that game?
How the hell did they lose to the Steelers? That shit was wild.
It was a week 1 funk.
Right.
bro, that game
had
was
to
like
have
3-0 until like the fourth quarter for some reason.
Right. Like that makes it so much more, especially the way the Steelers are playing.
But
Um,
yeah, I just want to get this out.
Steelers are hot.
David Mills fantasy points minus 4.32.
that's what he finished with.
Wow.
Yes. Being a quarterback finished with -4.
Dud of
That's
the week.
oh my fuck.
That's
Congratulations, you are now dud of the week.
I mean,
The
that's
new
horrible.
thing I just created.
I mean,
Dud of the
yeah.
week.
All right,
Bro.
let's get into this one real quick. We got the hometown game. We have the game that honestly, the Lions, we thought they could have won, and then by halftime we knew the game was over.
What did I call last week?
Essentially, here's the biggest thing that I want to point out right off the gate. The Lions had 14 to 17 total points inside of the red zone that they could have scored before halftime, but because of turnovers and the most outrageous fumble that I have seen in quite some times, with a snap to Jared Goff going off the leg, completely over the offensive line and falling into the defensive
Bro, our
hands,
center threw an interception.
is
Our
ridiculous.
center threw an interception.
Hike the ball to the
Our
defense.
center threw a pick in a National Football League game
and then
to
got
the other
injured.
team, and then got injured because he fucking stubbed his toe.
God
No,
damn it,
he
Frank.
just
Aren't you
wanted
the
out.
highest paid center in
He
the
just
league?
wanted
Frank.
out. He found a hole and he dipped.
He said, "Oh shit, I'm not gonna make up for that one."
But what did I call? This was going to be Justin Fields' breakout game, and Detroit was not going to get their first win this week.
Fields was.
Hey, but
Fields
there's
was
a lot of coaching concerns here with Dan
Oh, there-
Campbell and his decision making
Listen,
process, because
Absolutely.
he's not taking points when he should be taking points, and he's going for shit when he shouldn't be going for shit, and when he's going for it, he's running the wrong play. You have your first round draft pick was Penei Sewell. You have a 4th and 1, 4th and 2. Why are you not handing the ball to Jamal Williams and running behind your first overall pick in last year's draft? Why are you not doing that? Why is our first option to throw the ball? And why, when we throw the ball, are we aiming for St. Brown? Why is that option number one?
You want to know what's my
And why are we not taking more than one look, Jared Goff?
He's the problem. That nigga is he is like chum bucket food. Like, he is the worst quarterback. I would rather have Zach Wilson than Jared Goff. Jared Goff is the utter embodiment of garbage, and that's how I personally feel. He should have a job personally.
What about Davis Mills?
Oh, well,
Could be worse.
he is worse. He's right here. But Goff wants to be there. It's like Goff doesn't want to win. He's so depressed from what he did in LA that I don't think he ever can play good football again.
No.
I don't want him.
Been saying it all year, man. He is absolute shit. I hate him. I think that it was the trade on paper. It was take our good QB and we'll take your shitty one. And we got the shitty one. They got the good one. I'll be honest. The fact that I didn't even know who the hell Cephas was, Quintez Cephas, and then over 3 weeks he's become our wide receiver 1. That's wild. Okay. Second of all, if I had a fucking dollar for every overthrow I saw him make to TJ Hawkinson alone, I'd have $10. Honest to God. Because
listen.
Okay, but here's the thing that you failed to mention when you brought up the Stafford and Goff trade. Okay.
That was first Saturday.
We said we'll give you our quarterback because we're gonna ruin his entire career if we don't get him out of here. And we'll take your shitty one because he clearly can't win you a Super Bowl. Right? But they said, that's cool. How about we give you a 2022 first-round pick, a 2023 first-round pick, conditional, and a third-round pick in next year's draft?
Hopefully we use it to get
the Lions said, yes, please.
I was listening.
And here's the struggle. Here's where the struggle comes in. But here's where it's not bad, okay? Here's where it's not bad. So, here we go. The Lions have the potential to be very, very bad this year and very, very bad next year. However, I think we still lose games the way Lions typically lose games, right? But this is what I see happening, all right? And if it's done right, this process could work, and we're back on track in a 2 to 3 year span, okay? We lose almost every game this year, okay? We somehow get the number 1 overall pick, number 2 overall pick, right? And this is a strong defensive class in this draft. So we draft defensive because we're going to have a high first overall, first round pick. And we draft defensive, and then the next pick, draft defensive. Honestly, I don't even think you take anyone offensive in this draft except for wide receivers. Take 1 or 2 wide receivers. Take the rest defensive players because we need that defense to build itself up because we need a defense, right? But then I personally, and this could change by the end of the year, but right now, from what I've seen, I don't like any of what I'm seeing from the quarterbacks that are going to be in this year's draft class. And so I don't want the Lions to draft a quarterback this year. So next year, when Alabama's quarterback is eligible for the draft, you draft Alabama's quarterback because that guy's going to be a nut. Okay? So then we have Bama's quarterback. We got a defense that's a year into the league, so they got a year of experience. Okay? And then we got, our rookie guys that got injured this year and will be out for most of the year. Probably going to come back the end of the year this year and then have a full year to play with that new defense. And then you throw a new quarterback in there, get the offense going. And then after that year, where we, I think, win 8 or 9 games, you're on the up. But it has to go like that.
Yeah,
that's the only way I see it.
I believe, because at the end of the day, I know it seems in the league like if you don't have that all-star quarterback, you're not going to win a ring. That's just how it's been. But I don't think drafting next year is going to be the move for a quarterback. I wouldn't use any first-round picks on a quarterback. I wouldn't use a pick on a quarterback. I would wait it out and all defensive. That's the only thing we should be looking towards is defense, because you can get a random running back out of nowhere, low key, You can get a random receiver out of nowhere. Like Tyreek, 6th-round pick. You can get receivers randomly that turn into stars just because of where they was and who's throwing them the ball. But I think the Lions will have to figure out how to win without an all-star quarterback and just have like, when you have such a good offense around your QB that it makes your QB's job that much easier. That's what we're going to have to do.
Yeah, but I'll tell you right now the reason why Jared Goff is the issue, and he is the reason why the Lions are not going to win a single game this season. It is literally on the only sole fact he had no idea what a goddamn coney dog was when he came here to Detroit. And that is why. That is why we're going winless this season. He's not going to be doing anywhere near types of good. And that is it.
He is not
a
placeholder. He is not a future quarterback. He is a placeholder. And he knows that. We know that. Everyone knows that. He's holding the quarterback.
Well, he made his time a lot worse not knowing what a goddamn coney dog was coming over here. If you want to do good as a quarterback or any type of player for any sport for Detroit, you got to know what a goddamn coney dog is.
This is important. This is crucial information. That's like saying he didn't know who Eminem was. Did we ask him that question either? We should ask him that.
Who?
Like going to
Candy?
That's like going to Chicago and like, do they have good pizza here? Like, did you just ask me that? We in Chicago, bro. You asked me if pizza?
That's like you go to Little Caesars Arena. It's like, I wonder if they have pizza. Well, you're in Little Caesars Arena, pal.
Hey, bro,
I think so.
You want a coney dog?
What?
What is a coney dog? You don't know what a coney dog is?
All right.
All right, staying on track.
They should have
there's
told
another
them to go
game that I
back
wanna
ballet
get
after
through,
that.
And that is the Monday Night Football game that took place last night, being Justin Herbert and now the 3-1 Chargers taking down the unbeaten Raiders. I want to start off by saying that Justin Herbert, we said it last week, say it again this week, he's that guy. Whether you want to believe it and hop on the bandwagon, come along now, because apparently the Chargers have no fans, as they say. Or if you don't want to believe it, continue to be proven wrong by this guy, because Justin Herbert is going to surprise a lot of people this year. I mean, he's already surprised the hell out of me. I did not expect him to beat Patrick Mahomes, but he's now beaten Patrick Mahomes and Derek Carr back-to-back weeks. Pretty impressive thing to do, especially coming from a second-year player. I think that Justin Herbert, when Austin Eckler is on, has a big weapon with Austin Eckler, as we seen last night, going absolutely dummy. On top of it, I think the Chargers are in a great situation because they have people like Keenan Allen who can have these big games, but then they also have Mike Williams, who, yes, he didn't do a whole lot last night, but they still put up 28 points and they won by a significant
1 for
amount.
4 for 11 yards.
They have a lot of weapons that I feel like people don't realize that they have. And then once they're used, it's like, oh, shit, they still have him and him. And on top of it, with that Bosa defense, there was quotes after the game. I don't know if you saw them, but they essentially said that Derek Carr, it was pretty easy for them because they know that he's the quarterback that once you get him down, he just quits. And once he's down and out, that's the game. So they said pretty much by the end of the third quarter and halftime, I believe it was Bosa. And he said they knew that they won the game because Derek Carr was out of it.
They knew that, but they almost choked it.
It's wild to say, but that's what they said about Derek Carr. Keep in mind, the same Derek Carr who comes back in the fourth quarter all the time and never quits.
That's what I was about to say.
Little iffy to me.
Quarter.
Yeah, that was a little.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, because I was gonna say they literally almost came back.
Derek Carr is known for the fourth quarter. He's the new Stafford now that Stafford's on the Rams.
Oh, shut up, Stafford is still Stafford.
No, because Derek Carr,
he's not in those situations anymore.
He's in a good situation. He's in a good spot. They lost that game simply for the fact of like
Herbert wasn't missing, bro.
The Chargers were just doing better. When you have Jared Cook going crazy, like they're reviving Jared Cook.
Who saw that coming?
Like
I did not see that coming.
I didn't see that.
That's true, but Las Vegas' offense didn't start like waking up until late in the game, so it's like they got started way too late to probably complete the full comeback, or if anything,
Yeah,
hold it.
they would have made that kick, different ball game.
Right, and keep in mind the Raiders were on track to beat a record going into this game. They had 473 total yards average in the first 3 games going into Monday Night Football, and they had to get, I believe, more than that or whatever to break the record. First quarter, 0 passing yards. Shut them down completely out the gate. When you have a team that's going for a record like that, that's exactly what you do. There are 2 ways to do it. You can either shut them down completely, or you can look like dumbasses and get played at the end of the game and be the Denver Broncos and let the Ravens be petty as fuck and get the last 4 yards that they need to break a record on you and then be butthurt about it because you couldn't stop a 4-yard rush when they should have needed it. There's 2 ways to play it, and the Chargers played it right.
Bro,
The Broncos, just to touch on that real quick, that was so funny that they're that
Their
butthurt.
coach was so pissed, bro.
He was rattled. They showed him on the sideline. He's like throwing his shit, and it's like, dude, what do you care?
I low-key love it. It's petty as hell.
And then Harbaugh comes out with a statement. He's like, yeah, that was all 100% my decision. So basically saying, if you got something to say it to me. If you're mad, don't get mad at anybody else because I wanted the record.
Right, yeah.
But before we finish up the podcast today, at 8:30, Adam Scheffner tweeted a little in-season surprise. The Cowboys have released linebacker Jalen Smith, per sources.
Wow. Okay, now here's my thing. Their defense has been really good this year, which is why I'm surprised.
Micah. They are fully on Micah.
Oh yeah, that is 100% like that is known. It's all Micah now.
It's Micah now. He's
Did
that.
you see the picture?
Yeah.
I see a Dallas Cowboys star on the field.
I see.
Right.
Oh, I see him. Oh, that's ugly.
Oh yeah, it ain't normal. Your body don't bend like that for a reason.
No.
No, he was.
He's supposed to be covering him.
Oh yeah, okay. So there's reasons for why this Brody's cut. He sucks at football.
His coverage ain't great, I guess you could say that.
He ain't got the zone coverage. He's not helping Trayvon. He's not doing enough.
Oh, one more game. Oh, we almost forgot about this game only because the room was split when it was first made. The Cleveland-Minnesota game. The room was completely split in half on that one, so I just want to touch it up real quick. Did I say something wrong? Jesse's looking at me like I just
No, that was a boring game.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was a very defensive game from the jump. And I just want to go out and say there were so many opportunities for Minnesota to win this game. If you really look at it, though, there were so many opportunities that they could have won.
But do you know why it's okay?
Why?
Their get-right game is next week because they're playing Detroit.
Oh, fuck me. Dude, Dalvin Cook loves to
Jefferson,
shove his stick down our throat
gonna go
every
off.
time he plays.
Thielen, gonna go off. Dalvin Cook, gonna look like he hasn't been injured all year.
Every time
Kirk Cousins, gonna look like an MVP quarterback. Every member of the Vikings defense might look all pro next week. I think we're gonna get our salad tossed, boys.
It's gonna be brutal.
I think the Vikings can make a push if they got rid of Cousins for like a better QB.
Give the Vikings a mobile quarterback, and I think that they're lethal, especially with a fully healthy defense with Anthony Barr, who is a monster.
Call me crazy.
And has been torching quarterbacks.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
Wait,
Schwarber!
You're crazy.
Go!
You're just absolutely crazy.
Red Sox, Kyle Schwarber home run.
Yeah!
Woo! Woo! Hooty hooty hoo!
Come on now. But anyway,
The mid-pod home run celebration.
My crazy that it wouldn't happen. But if you gave the Vikings Lamar Jackson, they're winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That'll give me Teddy Bridgewater vibes.
Or if Teddy went back, if
he started there,
he went back, he might be over.
If he never left.
Or Tyrod Taylor even could probably just fit into that better than Cousins.
Yeah, for about 3 or 4 weeks, maybe.
Yeah, until
Or he gets another
Until he-
punctured lung by his own
Yeah.
medical staff.
he's just
Until he
like,
goes home and like stubs his toe on the couch cushion. And
Final game that I want to talk about here. I know I keep forgetting of these games, but this one doesn't actually think need to be talked about.
you're
We
forgetting
saw
about the ones that don't matter. That's fine.
the 49ers and the Seahawks game, I think, should be talked about real quick because we saw at the end of the first quarter an injury by Garoppolo. They put in Lance, and what do? They run him like he's Lamar Jackson with these fucking option plays, and I honestly was astounded by how they were using him. I was like, why are you using him like this? Because
They
Russ
probably
Daddy's gonna start
did
torching. And
what
did
they
Russ
should
Daddy
have
start
done,
doing?
which is go up to Trey Lance and say, "What do you want to do?
all right, you want us?
You're now the quarterback. You know what you're good at. What are you most confident with? Let's go do that."
They're like, do you want Jimmy Garoppolo's playbook, or do you want like not the Joe Montana's? But we don't have one for you. Not exactly, but we can.
Well, like when Lamar Jackson went to Baltimore. Baltimore switched up the offense and started running college style plays because that fit Lamar's like play style and like helped their offense. So if they do a similar thing over there in San Francisco and they're like, "Yo, Trey, like, what do you want to do? Like, let's make a playbook like that plays to your play style." They could really torch a lot of defenses.
Hit them for no reason. So I agree with you. You know,
They liked a lot of what they saw in college, and there was not a lot to go off of. So clearly, what they saw, they liked. So they're gonna have to try to incorporate that. I think for him to reach his full potential in the NFL.
Yeah, and
But Russ Daddy prevails.
Russ
he
Daddy
does. But whoa, that first half, he was looking like he wanted to leave.
That
It kind
Bro,
of
they
been
had
looking like that a lot of the first half. For the
classic
Seattle
Russ
Seahawks this year.
Daddy. Yeah, if you didn't say anything, I was going to be like, yo, we got a classic Russ Daddy in action.
In Russ Daddy fashion, he's down at half.
Absolutely
looking
dog
like-
shit first half for offense. Oh, second half? Oh, okay, maybe it's time to actually get some points. Boom!
Maybe
Dot,
this
dot,
is
dot.
why.
Damn.
This is why I tell you that we should just only bet Seattle live
Comebacks.
at halftime. money line every
And
time.
shout out, no, actually, it's weird because I wanted to say shout out Russell Wilson for this being the first game all year that you actually played the second half. You were starting to become the Falcons. You were scaring me for a second. All year, you weren't playing second half football at all. It took you till week 4 to realize, oh shit, if we play better in the second half than we do the first half, we can win games easier. Damn, ain't it wild how that works?
Wow.
It's crazy. It's a crazy world we live in, Dylan. It really
Last
is.
thing I want to say is that Big Ben, you suck. That's it.
I just want to say F you, Logan Thomas, for getting injured on the first play of the game and leaving my tight end with a fat goose egg for points.
Tyler, what do you want to say?
Facts. I would just like to say that it's time to change your team name, Dylan, because you lost. Jesse, last final words?
want to know what my final words are?
Yeah.
I'm starting this week off hot. I'm starting this fantasy week off by saying, Dylan, we played this week, right?
Leave me alone.
Ty, we played
played-
this week.
Oh,
Hold on. We'll let this happen first.
In here. Listen,
fuck me.
Alvin Kamara, he had a bad week last week. He had good yards, but he catches he didn't get. Bush played like trash, so I had a shitty week. So I gotta come at you with everything I got next week. My players go crazy.
Now, you know that we're in the exact same situation, right?
We're both 2-2.
We are both on 2-game win streaks and then had a shit week last week and now need to bounce back.
Yep.
Here is the one thing that I got you with. Myles Gaskin put up 0.3 points. If this motherfucker isn't due for a game, then I don't know how you're set up for a game. The only thing I'm worried about, and I think it should be clear, Josh Allen against that Chiefs team on Sunday night. Will he be playing like he's been playing against these dookie teams, or will he be playing like he did against the Steelers? That's honestly going to be, what's going on, bro?
Hey!
Safa from Sweden. Okay. What the fuck is going on, bro?
Stefan Manberg from Sweden. What's up?
You don't know. We're in Michigan. That's where we at.
But, Dylan, do you know who Kyler Murray's playing next week?
You know what? I don't. I didn't look for a reason.
You want to know who Kyler Murray's playing this week?
Hopefully it's a good defense.
It's, hold on. I forgot. I thought I knew, and now my brain farted.
Oh, God.
Cardinals coming in and playing San Fran.
Okay. I'm okay with that. San Fran is they don't have a bad defense. They just don't have a good defense. They're in the middle.
But who's better? San Fran or Los Angeles?
Definitely the Rams.
And himself.
The Rams are like the best. Bro, he torched up Jalen Ramsey, and that is hard to do.
Well, Jalen Ramsey was
not just Jalen Ramsey, but like that defense.
Yeah.
That caliber.
I don't
that's
know.
Unreal.
I got hopes. I think I got to kick out of the 2-2.
I think it will be a big ass game. Before Tyler and Luke go into their game, do y'all want to say what up to Stefan? Y'all weren't in here when he was letting us know he's from Sweden.
Yeah, that's because we're the one putting it on the screen for you. But what up, Stefan? I know you're probably gone now. You dipped out real quick. Said to say what up though. So what up to you? What up to anybody all around the world? We love all places. So come say hi. Come stop by sometime. But without further ado, Luke, I just want to say, I'm gonna smack you.
You know,
and it's not going to be pretty. All right, I'm not taking it light. I'm not going to be nice to you. I'm going to say mean things all week, and I'm going to torch you with my team.
Hear me out.
You have debated quitting the league every week.
This is my first win.
You ain't getting no win.
This is my first win this week. Barkley's going off. He's back, baby.
He wasted it last week. He gets you like an average of fucking 8 points.
Hey, he needed that startup game, and now he's going. He can't be
startup game. He'll get injured in the first quarter. I might put money on it.
Bro.
I might even put money on it. But I'll just tell you what. Ryan Tannehill against Jacksonville, yeah, we're going to be fine. Austin Eckler against Cleveland will be all right. David Montgomery, he's questionable. Okay, he's questionable.
Yeah.
Scary Terry, Keenan Allen, TJ Hawkinson, Brandon Cooks. And I might just play A.J. Brown because he's going to Jacksonville, but that depends on how he looks in practice. So we got adjustments that can be made to make sure that you are nowhere near success come Sunday.
Because I got Prescott against New York Giants, baby.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I bet that game hits the under, and both your guys
game hits the over.
Horribly.
Not only is Prescott going to be bombing the ball down the field, Barkneys, my motherfucking captain, is going to be marching down the field the other way. Okay? You hear me? And don't get me wrong, Mr. Injury-prone Carson is going to stay healthy, and he's going to torch the Rams.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll see about that because the Rams defense is about to fumble that.
You just better pray I don't pick the 2 receivers out of my how many I have that are going to pop this week.
Oh, okay.
There's always
I can
2.
Pick any of mine,
Can't
and I'll be all
guarantee
right.
they'll be in the lineup.
So we'll see about that. Dylan, what happened? You definitely.
I got some things. I'm
taunting Garrett Cole because he just got removed in the bottom of the 3rd inning because it's 3-0. Runners on first and second, nobody out, and Garrett Cole's out of the game. So I'm saying bye-bye, motherfucker. I'll see you later because Xander Bogaerts is about to hit his 2nd homer of the game to make it 6-0 Boston. So
Xander's hard.
I'll tell you right now, if I'm a Yankees fan, I'm pissed. But if I'm us and our prediction skills, come on now. It's fucking Dubs. Come on now. Come on now. It's all over, baby.
All right, but that's all we got for today's episode. That'll wrap it up. If you want some winning sports picks, go to VegasSportsAdvantage.com. You can find the link in our bio, and make sure you join us this Saturday at 11 o'clock Eastern time. Catch us
for some NFL and NCAA college football bets. We did better with our NFL slate, but still had some crazy games that we did not expect, like Tennessee and a few others, like the Vikings, if you're me. And I don't know, just a couple games didn't go our way, so we're still looking for the big lay, but we're going to get it because we are determined, and there is one extra week in the NFL this year, so that means that it's more doable. But if you want the winning picks, go to VegasSportsAdvantage.com. You can hit that link in our bio, and I will greatly appreciate all of what you do after you hit that link. So thanks for joining us, and we will talk to you guys next time.
Peace.
Ride the Tide Sports Podcast is brought to you by Vegas Sports Advantage.
Welcome to VegasSportsAdvantage.com, the website where you can win with us. It doesn't matter if your favorite team is playing.
It doesn't matter what you think.
What matters is which team has the best odds to win. Our MIT team has had a winning record every year for the past 15 years. This gives us the confidence to guarantee all of our packages. We have the highest verified record. Don't miss out. Get in the game. It doesn't matter which sport it is.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Win with Vegas Sports Advantage. Go to VegasSportsAdvantage.com to start winning today.